Namaste. Good afternoon. We hope you and your friends and family are doing well and are safe and healthy. We are logging in from New York Ganesh Temple in Flushing, New York, for the 35th Unique Learning Series session organized by Akshayam, the Young Professionals team of the New York Ganesh Temple. On behalf of the temple, I'd like to warmly welcome all of you to this session, in which we'll be talking about the significance of Šri Devi Navarãtri, which will be starting in about a week. But before we get into the program, I would love to welcome our speaker for today, someone I suppose you are very familiar with at this point, the Director of Religious Services at the New York Ganesh Temple, Sivachariar Ravi Vaidyanaat Sivachariar. Welcome.
Namaste.
So Sivachariar uncle, welcome to our session. Would you please be able to start the session with an introductory prayer?
Hri Om. Raktangam basmaliptangam trinetram makudanvitam pashankushadaram devam nagayajñopavitinam dantancha modakam chaiva tundahastena dharinam lambodharam brihatkayam dhyatva mantrena pujayet. Om Sri Mahavallabhaganapataye namaha. Mahakali, Mahalakshmi, Mahavani, Manonmani, Yoga Nidratmike Tubhyam, Chamundayi, Sumangalam, Sarva Mantratmike Pragnye, Sarva Yantra Swarupini, Sarva Tantratmike Tubhyam, Chamundayi, Sumangalam. Loka samasta sukino bhavantu, sarve janaha sukino bhavantu, om shanti shanti shanti.
Thank you, Sivachariar uncle, for joining us today, taking the time out of your busy schedule to talk to us about Šri Devi Navarãtri. So a bit of an introduction. In this materialistic world, with an intention to create a mind devoted to mankind, sincere love, unity, avoiding hatred and animosity, it is believed that God's grace and blessings are so very important, as it enables oneself to live a peaceful life. Our thoughts and actions are very powerful. They carry energy. They are like an echo. We alone are responsible for our actions. We are responsible for our own karma. It is a law of cause and effect, an unbreakable law of the cosmos. We deserve everything that happens to us, good or bad. We create our happiness and we create our misery. Celebration of Navaratri signifies devotion to mankind, unity, peaceful life, and happiness. In this month, for this learning series, we'll be experiencing this aspect and delving a little bit more into that topic. As Akshayam and as a temple community, we find it very important that we learn about the reason why we celebrate certain festivals and practice certain rituals, because there is an added benefit of not just practicing blindly, but doing so with purpose. When we understand the reason why we do things the way we do, it allows us to customize the Sanatana Dharma and connect with the tradition in a deeper level. So I invite everybody to type in your questions on Facebook, and we'll try to get to them, as many of them as soon as possible towards the end of the session. I'll have a few questions that I have prepared for Sivachariar uncle, and this is the first one. What is the meaning of Navaratri, and how was it named?
See, Navaratri is one of the events which is observed. It's also a spiritual observance in any Hindu tradition or customs. There are different reasons to observe this event, and of course, by the people of different regions, the way of celebration varies. As per one of the legend, where some of the demons or asuras, as it is popularly known as, were found to be very powerful and very ambitious, and continually they try to defeat the devas, as usual, and also capture sometime the heaven too. And one asura named Mahishasura, he grew very powerful, and he created havoc on the earth. And under his leadership, the asuras defeated the devas. So the world was crushed under Mahishasura's tyranny. So all the devas joined together, and they shared their energies as a Shakti, which is a single mass of incandescent energy to face Mahishasura. So at the same time, there is a very powerful band of lightning emerged from Lord Brahma, Vishnu, and Rudra, and resulting a young and beautiful female virgin manifested with 10 hands. And all the gods give their special weapons to her for her use to defeat Mahishasura. And these Shaktis combine to form the goddess Durga, riding on a lion as her Vahana to assist her. And goddess Durga fought with Mahishasura. The battle raged for 9 nights. Finally, on the 10th day, Mahishasura was defeated and killed by Lord Durga. So the first 9 days are observed as Navaratri. Nava means 9 and Ratri means night. So 9 nights. And the 10th day is referred as Vijayadasami. So the Navaratri is also referred as Sharada Navaratri, where some call it as Dasara too, or some people refer it to Durgotsava or Durga Puja, basically to celebrate the victory of goddess Durga. There is also another interesting legend connecting with this, because some people call it as Dasara. So the same event is coinciding with Dasara, which means here Dasa means 10, Dashanan. Like we used to tell Gajanan. Gaja means elephant. Anana means mukha or face. So anyone, if I say Gajanana, you will always know who is Gajanana is Ganesha or Vigneshwara with an elephant head. Similarly, Dashanan. Dasha means 10. Anana means Mukham. So who has got 10 heads? It is Ravana. Anyone will say, no, a demon or Asura with 10 headed means it is Ravana. So Ravana is called as Dashanan. A short form of Dashanan is Dasha. Hara. Hara means to defeat. So who defeated Ravana is Rama, as per the story of Ramayana. So it is this Dashara, it refers to the victory of Lord Rama over 10-headed demon or Asura called as Ravana. So that's about the victory of Ravana. It is actually every year it is celebrated in the same period in the Ram Leela Maidan in New Delhi. Every year we can see that. There is also another literary meaning to Dashara. So here, Dasha means, as I told, it's a 10. Okay. So there are, we have to, Dashahara, we have to defeat over 10 different bad evils or bad qualities that we possess. All of us, all human beings possessing a lot of bad qualities, we also possess good qualities. So this is the time to identify or do a self-appraisal of ourselves, to identify what are all which an individual feel a bad qualities that he is possessing. Just to give some example, like ahankara or ego, or amanatva or cruelty, ananya, injustice, kama vasana, lust, krodha, anger, and lobha, greed, madha, overpride, mascharya, jealousy, moha, attachment, swartha is selfishness. Like this, everyone will have different type of bad qualities. So we have to identify what are the top 10 bad qualities that we possess. And as I said during Dasara, it is the victory of good over evil. So what should I do? If I have to identify the bad qualities, I have to win over it, I have to remove it, and I have to acquire or observe some good qualities or practice good qualities. Just to give some example of good qualities, it's like on victory of good over evil, like you have strength and courage, recognition of our true nature, alertness, creativity, skill and compassion, healthier relationship, dynamism, wisdom, perfection, and enlightenment. Like this, we can ourselves, what is required in that period of life, we should choose the good qualities and we should try to practice. So in total, Vijayadasami means it signifies the meaning when we win over these 10 bad qualities and obtain good qualities. So Navaratri like this has got several meanings. Whether you call it as a Navaratri, or you call it as a Dashara, or you call it as a Dashahara, so all are observed for different purpose. Thank you. I think I've taken a long time.
I know, that was very elaborate and necessary for us to really understand what Navaratri is. So you mentioned Navaratri means 9 nights. You've also mentioned the story of Mahishasura Mardini, the one that has defeated Mahishasura. And so you've also spoken about the female manifestation, or the female energy with the 10 hands of Goddess Durga. But I do know that Goddess Saraswati is also celebrated during Navaratri. Can you tell us a little bit more about how Goddess Saraswati plays into this?
Okay. So in the last question I referred, Navaratri is also referred as Sharda Navaratri. Okay. So Sharda means in Sanskrit, it also refers to Saraswati. So that is why there is a celebration of Saraswati Puja during the same 10 days time. So they call it as a Sharda Navaratri, and ending with the 10th day will be called as a Vijayadashami. There also the same thing. Instead of Durga Navaratri, here it is Sharda Navaratri. So it is Saraswati Puja being done. And because Saraswati means everyone knows it is the goddess of knowledge. So the celebration will be towards gaining more knowledge for us. So what happens is, in our sacramental rituals that we perform in our tradition, one of the sacramental ritual is called as Vidyaramba. Vidyaramba is very important sacrament in the thing. That is why the students who are basically children, beginners, they will be initiated into studies. They are not commencing; they are getting initiation as studies. So, which is called as Vidyaramba, and the guru or the teachers, they are also revered on this day. And of course, obviously, because it's a knowledge related observation of festivals, even the other students who need not be beginners, other students, they also wish to get the blessings of Goddess Saraswati. So all students, okay, they place their study material in the altar of Goddess Saraswati, and then respect their text and knowledge books and revere it. So it is also to be noted that Vidyaramba, as I told, is one of the sacramental ritual which is prescribed in our Hindu Dharma Shastra. And at the end, on the last, we will be observing Vijayadashami day, as in the regular Durga Navaratri. In Sharda Navaratri also there is a Vijayadashami day. And in this day, what people normally do is, again, as I said, Vidyaramba means it is a victory day, the day of victory. So there are different legends. So once in one of the legend, it is said Arjuna, who is one of the important character in Mahabharata, is believed to have picked up all his weapons on this day, and he revered it. And not only that, even we also saw, Goddess Durga fought with Mahishasura for 10 days. And after she win over Mahishasura, she was in the form of Chamundeshwari, and she collected all the weapons, kept all these weapons, and did a worship. So that is why what happens, if you would have seen a lot of business entities, factories, establishments, business organizations, all of them, they to honor and respect all the tools and machineries which has helped them in their productivity. So they will respect all these materials, and it is believed that anything started on this day is bound to be to gain as a victory. That's why it is called as Vijayadashami. So that is why Saraswati Puja is also done during Navaratri.
That makes sense. Just to comment on that, I know a lot of individuals just more than the academics and more than actually putting their study materials in front of Goddess Saraswati, a lot of people, do start the classical arts, learning the classical arts on that day. If it's Bharatanatyam or Kuchipudi or vocal music or instrumental music, they tend to start their training their children on the Vidyaramba day. So that makes a lot of sense.
It's a commencement and enhancement of knowledge and skill set.
Sure. Yeah. So it should be a great start for them as well. Okay, so my next question to you is, we spoke about Durga and Saraswati, about their significance for the 9 days. But for the Navaratri Mahotsavam, we also celebrate Mahalakshmi.
Yes.
So can you talk a little bit more about Mahalakshmi's involvement as well?
Okay. See, the Navaratri, as I said, it is celebrated, revering to Durga or Saraswati, or Ram Leela, Rama winning over Ravana. All these things are there. Similarly, some people wish to celebrate separately. So there are different type of Navaratri which are observed in throughout the year. So just to name a few, I'll say there is a Navaratri called as Vasanta Navaratri, which is observed during the month of Hindu calendar month Chaitra, from the day of the new year, new calendar year begins on 14th of in the month of Chaitra or April. And another Navaratri called as Ashada Navaratri. Ashada Navaratri is normally observed during Ashada month, which occurs between 15th July to 15th of August, which is, they also call it as a Adi Masa. And Adi Masa, you will find all Devis are celebrated. Again, the whole month itself is dedicated for Devis in Adi Masa. It's called as Ashada Navaratri. There is also called as Sarada Navaratri, which is what we are observing now. Whether it is Durga Navaratri or Dasara or Sarada Navaratri, falls in the same period, called in the month of Ashwija month. Like that, there is also another Navaratri called as Sharan Navaratri. So all these Navaratri, whether it is Sarada Navaratri or Ashada Navaratri or Vasanta Navaratri, it's dedicated to each Devis. So, but in our temple, we don't celebrate all separately. We combinedly celebrate in this period. So that is why we pray Lord Durga, we pray Goddess Saraswati, we also pray Lakshmi, we also pray Parvati, we also do Chandi Homa, like that. All combinedly we celebrate in one instant itself. That is why you find Durga, Lakshmi, Saraswati, Parvati, all pujas during this Navaratri.
Oh, that's very interesting. Yeah, because we do see, different Navaratris being denoted in the calendar throughout the year, and not a lot of us know why it's Navaratri throughout the year and for different seasons or different months. And so this makes sense. So the next question I had for you, Sivachariar uncle, is Lalita Sahasranama. It's chanted all of the 9 days of Navaratri. Can you tell us about the benefit of chanting the Lalita Sahasranama?
Okay. So like we saw Durga or Saraswati or Mahalakshmi, so now it's the turn of Parvati. So Parvati also is revered during the same period, and especially with Lalita Sahasranama. Lalita Sahasranama is a very, very religious text, which was revealed by 8 Vagdevis. Normally, you will find spiritual texts are revealed only by rishis and saints and munis, but these are all 9 Vagdevis, female rishis, revealed this text called based on the command of Sri Lalita, which is the avatar of Parvati. It's in manifestation of Parvati. So on the direction of Lalita, these Vagdevis, okay, I can even give the names, like you have Vasini, Kameshwari, Aruna, Vimala, Jayini, Modini, Sarveshwari, Kaulini. They are all the names of women saints who composed this Lalita Sahasranama. And this information was revealed by none other than Goddess Vishnu in one of his manifestations called Hayagriva. Hayagriva is one of the manifestations of Lord Vishnu, who revealed about this Lalita Sahasranama, or the goddess Parvati's or Lalita's 1000 sacred auspicious names, and he revealed this through the Brahmanda Purana. Brahmanda Purana means it is the history of the universe, and this was transferred. The message was as Upadesam, it was given to sage Agastya. So Agastya observed this through Hayagriva, and he spread this to all other people, And then that's why the Lalita Sahasranama is being chanted. And if you see, like how Durga, all the rishis and all the devatas gave the power to Durga to win over Mahishasura. Similarly, Parvati was given power by all the devatas, and she was given the Panchakritya. Panchakritya means we must have heard this Panchakritya Parayana Namaha, one of the very effective mantra chanted in Lalita Sahasranama. Panchakritya means 5 act or 5 actions. It is like Srishti, Sthiti, Samhara, Tirobhava, Anugraha. If I had to tell it in English, it is like, creation, preservation, or protection, or destruction, or hiding, or blessing. All this act or a deed or the work to be performed by Lalita was given to her to perform. That is why we pray Parvati by chanting Lalita Sahasranama every day. Of course, this year due to COVID, we will be doing the Lalita Sahasranama chanting every day in the morning soon after the Abhishekam. Every day Parvati will have Abhishekam, and soon after that Abhishekam we will also chant Lalita Sahasranama. The beauty of Lalita Sahasranama is even people, if they are not able to come to temple, they can sit in their own home and in front of Parvati or in front of a Deepa, they can chant this Lalita Sahasranama. And it is equivalent to, visiting religious place, or equivalent to have taken bath in a sacred river, or offering materials or prasada to the Lord. So it has so much powerful mantras on Goddess Parvati, which is also combined along with other Devis during Navaratri, we observe.
Great. Thank you for telling us about the Lalita Sahasranama and the beauty of it, the importance of it, and the benefit one can receive, and who the Lalita Sahasranama was sort of compiled by, and who usually chants it. So that's great. So you mentioned 2 things, Uncle. You also talked about the Chandi Navavarna Puja, yes, and you also spoke about the Saptashati Parayanam, which is also incorporated into the 9-day celebration. Can you tell us a little bit more about what those 2 pujas and that Parayanam is about?
Okay. Like Durga has got a different manifestation. One of the manifestation of Durga, Goddess Durga, is called as Chandi. And this Chandi is in the structure, it is in a very fierce form and very powerful form. Okay. And the entire Chandi has been narrated in Devi Mahatmyam. Okay. So if one chant this Devi Mahatmyam, and it will give us, or we will be blessed with heavy power to balance our passion and dispassion and indulgence and denial. And like that, we will get a lot of blessings. And we can also, it will unite our, initially I was talking about good qualities and bad qualities and all. So this chanting of this Chandi Parayana will even make our selfishness to selflessness. So that's a very powerful mantra. By performing this Chandi Homa at the end of the Parayana, one can become, we will get free from any evil eyes, we'll get relieved from any curses or any such obstacles, and we'll have a good health, wealth, and prosperity. And again, like how all the devatas gave power to Durga, here also Chandi also got Shakti, which is an embodiment of powers from all the divine forces. And Chandi is also referred as the mother of universe. That's why she is referred, Goddess Durga or Chandi or Parvati, they are referred as Parashakti. Parashakti means the mother of universe. And she is the one who saved all the people of the earth and protects all of us from any evils. And again, like Durga, here also she win over all the asuras. And then the entire things have been narrated in the Devi Mahatmyam, which comprises of about 700 slokas. So the 700 is referred as 7 means Sapta. Sapta means 7. Satam means 100. So 700 sloka. That's why it's called a Sapta Sati. So there are 700 verses in Devi Mahatmyam which talks about Chandi. And by chanting this, we get all good qualities among us. That is why this Saptasati Parayanam is also chanted during Navaratri by us. And of course, this will give us enormous power among praying any other deities.
Right. Okay. That sounds good. Thank you for explaining about the Chandi Puja, Navaratri Puja. I was looking through the calendar of events that will be happening for the 9 days, and one of the days was denoted to be Durgashtami. So, can you tell us a little bit more about what is Durgashtami and what is the significance of the pujas done on Durgashtami?
Okay. See, Durgashtami is basically observed on the 8th day of Navaratri, which almost falls on Suklastami day, because Navaratri starts on the Pratama day. The Ashtami day is referred as a Suklastami day or Durgashtami day. And it is on this day, people will be commencing the fasting soon after completion of the Durgashtami Puja, because if you measure the days between Durgashtami or from here or Vijayadasami to Deepavali, it will be exactly 21 days from now, from the Dashami day. So some people will commence the fasting on Durgashtami day or the following day based on when it ends, 21 days. Because sometimes Deepavali comes on the Amavasya day, sometimes it falls during Chaturdasi day. Based on that, they calculate 21 days and commence the thing. And at the end of 21 days, they observe the Ketarishwara Vrata or Ketara Gauri Vrata Puja is performed. And to mark the beginning of the fasting, they always do Durga Diba Namaskara. So it is, the decorated lamp is lit, and then goddess Durga is invoked into this Deepa, and there will be a mandala drawn, hand-drawn mandala will be there on which the lamps are kept, and Durga Sahasranama is being chanted, and again from the same Durga Saptasati, or from Devi Mahatmyam, chapter 5 is chanted here. Chapter 5 comprises of 21 Namaskara Mantras. So, when we keep chanting this, that's why it is called as Durga Diba Namaskara Puja. So, one of the important part of this puja is after completion of the Sahasranama chanting and the Upachara, we will have to do 21 days Namaskara, marking the beginning of the fasting, so that people will end with this, with the Ketarishwara Puja. So that is why there are 21 Namaskara is being performed in the Durgashtami day.
Okay. Great. And so I think we have 1 or 2 pictures of the puja that has taken place at our temple. I don't know if we can have the pictures on now before we get into the next question. So, Uncle, can you tell us a little bit about what we're seeing here in these pictures?
So in this picture, you will find, Durga Saptasati is being chanted with the Navavarna Puja. You have we call it as a Maha Meru. Okay, so there is a Maha Meru is kept in the center, and the Kalasa is behind it, and behind that you will see Goddess Durga. So here, every day the chanting of 700 slokas are being done for all the Navaratri day, all the 10 days. And the last day it will end up with Chandi Homa.
It's great. Thank you. And now we're going to take this session to another direction, in parallel direction, in the sense that we learned about the reason why we celebrate Navaratri, the name of Navaratri, how it came about, the different pujas involved, the different shlokams that are chanted, Parayanam and such, significance about those things and the importance of observing it. But one thing that a lot of people observe or take part in is the formation or the building of a golu. So, yes. Which is the combination of the dolls that are displayed, along with song and dance, singing of bhajans, which are divine songs, garbas, other things like that. That's like sort of the cultural aspect of things, but it also has a religious, meaning behind it. So, can we talk a little bit about the golu? And I think we have a few pictures for those that don't know what the golu is. So let's put the pictures up, and maybe Sivachariar can tell us a little bit about the golu.
It's a very interesting topic or very interesting skill. I was talking to you about, telling you about some good over evil that we have to win over. One of that I told about creativity and all. Okay, so this actually, the formation of these divine dolls or toys or colorful decorations, they are basically, along with the social gatherings, community feasts, showcasing of innovative ideas of an individual's art and craft capability. It also gives us opportunity to improve the relationship with the neighbors, because every home and region do it differently. Some call it as all these dolls what you are seeing now. It's a formation of Kolu. Some people call it as a Kolu festival. Some people call it as a Bomme Habba. Some people call it as a Bommala Kolu. Of course, in which a rack of odd numbers of the shelves are built, and divine and decorated dolls along with the art and crafts are also displayed. And basically, it's an attraction of especially for children's and people who want to improve their, explore their creativities of individuals. And of course, every neighbors, they invite each other and exchange gift during this time. And in some region, it is also celebrated as a community festival at a common place. Instead of doing it in temple or a home, they do it at a common place, and along with the dance and the cultural showcasing, each region observe this festival. It is also a festival. It is also in austerities. It's also a celebration. It is also winning good over bad. So it's a combination of multicultural activities.
So it is a celebration nonetheless.
Yes.
So that's great. And I must say that the pictures that we displayed for you, those are pictures taken from our temple at the New York temple. So we want to show that first picture again, which is how the Golu was set up. I think it was last year. And it was such an elaborate, beautiful setup. And so we invite you all to see what the Golu looks like this year as well. So thank you. Great. And a small plug for a cultural show that's coming on, that's coming next week, is going to be, there's a cultural show on October 17th, which is next Saturday, starting at 3 p.m. Eastern time, by the Sai sisters, Sai Kiran and Sai Nivedita. And it's going to be live on Facebook and YouTube. So I invite you to listen to them. And they're also going to be adding more of the celebration and the vibes of festivity through music. So I encourage everybody to log in next Saturday, I guess the first day of Navratri at 3 p.m. So that's great. So the next question I had for you, Sivachariar uncle, is that this year, of course, with the current guidelines in place because of the pandemic, how are we going to be celebrating Navaratri at our temple starting on Saturday, next Saturday?
See, this year is a very different from other years, because we are in the midst of COVID-19. And this pandemic, unlike earlier period, it will be celebrated. Still, we will be observing this celebration in a modified schedule, of course, without compromising any of the religious code of conduct. And people, we advise all the people to view the whole events online and observe the festival safely, staying at home. But one could still safely visit the temple too during the darshan time. We have made all the arrangement, and it has been listed out in our website too, to have the glimpse of alankaras and kolu, and to feel the vibration and energy in person. And also considering this situation, we have arranged for prayers that can be done online through online chanting every day evening at 6:30 p.m. and focusing that the slokas or the chanting will be focused on all Devis. As we have been seeing now, every Devis will be chanting slokas on everything, and it will be done online. So people can join safely from their home. And this will also give people a very good healing effect. And not only this, even Durga Deepa Namaskara Puja or the Vidyaramba for children's commencement of education, as I told you, Vidyaramba as one of the religious sacrament, will also be performed. We have made arrangement for the people to stay safe at home, register it, and join the virtual services through Zoom meeting facility through our temple's website.
Great. So yeah, you mentioned a few things that I just want to emphasize again, is the online chanting and prayer, which the priests at the temple have been chanting during the peak of COVID every day. And then now it's every Thursday, but again, for Navaratri, it's going to be every day. And it's going to be focusing on Devi.
Yes. Yes. All day of Navaratri, we don't want people to miss the celebration, even staying at home. So that's why, even though it will be regularly on every weekly affairs, but because of Navaratri, we are doing it all day. So people can sit at home and chant along with our priest. Of course, they will be having the script in advance. They can also download what sloka, when we are going to chant, which day, like that.
Sure. And it's very important that everybody checks the website, nyganeshtemple.org, for the most updated timings. Timings were changed starting this weekend for opening times for darshan. But again, it's going to be a little bit different when Navaratri starts. So Sivachariar uncle, the timings are going to be a bit different, right?
Yeah. The one is okay. Regular visiting time is different, and we will be posting, or it's already available in the Navaratri schedule. We will still post it on the top of our website saying what is the darshan time on each day.
Yeah.
So we advise everyone to watch and check the website and plan their visit to the temple.
Sure, definitely. And you also mentioned that individuals and devotees can participate from home at 2 of the Zoom pujas. The first one you mentioned was Shri Devi Namaskaram, which is going to be on October 23rd, which is Friday, at 5:15 p.m. Eastern Time. And Vaidyanaat for the kids on October 25th, which is Sunday, at 6 p.m. Eastern times. So, Uncle, if we are missing some of the puja materials, can we get it at the temple, or how would that work?
Yeah. See, once they register for the puja, one of our official staff member will call them, and they can come to the temple during the darshan time and collect the puja materials. Okay.
So that's good. And it's important that you register in advance so that we can send out the Zoom link, and the earlier you do it is better. Okay, great. So my last question before I open it up to audience question and answer, and I really encourage everybody watching from home to type in your questions. After this question, I'll be answering your questions. We'll be answering your questions. So my last question to you, Sivachariar uncle, is, you mentioned, you touched upon this a bit throughout the entire session, but just to talk a little bit more about the fasting during Navratri. So why do people fast during Navratri? Is there something specific or special about it? And which god or goddess do they pray to or meditate upon while fasting during these 9 days?
Okay. See, Navratri, as we contemplated, is a concentration on all goddess and all Shaktis and all Devis. So obviously the prayers will be towards Devis, be it Durga or Lakshmi or Saraswati or Parvati or Chandi or Chamundi or Bhavani, for all Devis, the prayers are focused on that. Okay. Even our online prayer is going to be on different Devis each day. Okay. Similarly, the fasting or Rupavasa, in our tradition, it is not a compulsory, but advisable. When it is advisable is if anyone involved in performance of religious austerities. If they are performing religious austerities, like for example, Chandi Saptasati Parayana, if they do all this, obviously they have to observe fasting. And suppose if they do Navaratri Puja or participate in Navaratri Puja, they have supposed to do fasting. And if they chant Sahasranama, Lalita Sahasranama every day, then they have to do observe fasting. Or in some people, they will also install a kalasha along with the kolu. So if they install a kalasha and offer prayers every day, obviously they are supposed to observe fasting. So it depends on what they are involved into, which part of how they are going to observe the festival. Accordingly, they can decide whether they should observe fasting or not.
Right. Okay. So it's basically you're saying it's not a requirement, it's a recommendation, and it's sort of customized to how you celebrate Navaratri in your homes. And the recommendations vary, of course, based on how extensive you're going to be celebrating.
Yes.
Sounds good. So that's all the questions that I have from my end. But two people have posted their questions, which I'll read out to you, Uncle. Is can we donate dravyas this year for Navaratri, like we did for Ganesh Chaturthi? And what are the things that we can donate?
Of course, our temple all run on the funds. Okay, for the people, by the people, of the people, I should say. So obviously, every events it incurs a lot of cost, and we welcome everyone to sponsor any one ritual or one day's ritual or the entire rituals. All days they can sponsor. So they are free to sponsor any of the pujas, and they are welcome to come to the temple during the darshan time and receive the prasadam. Otherwise, we will send them or mail them their prasadam. They are free to donate for any of the rituals.
Okay, sounds good. So they can find all that information on the website. As to if they want to, sponsor one ritual, if they want to sponsor a whole day's worth of rituals, if they want to sponsor all 9 days, and dravyas as usual, they can donate milk, yogurt, flowers, and other fruits. Okay.
Yeah, but no cooked food.
No cooked foods. Okay.
No cooked food.
Yeah, because of
no sweets also. No sweets or homemade food items.
Okay, so no sweets, that makes sense because of the current situation we're facing. So that makes sense. And my last plug before we close off this session is that I want to really thank Ravi Vaidyanaat Sivachariar for taking the time out of his busy schedule to answer our questions. We want to remind everybody to really go onto the website nyganeshtemple.org for the latest information about timings, the timings, not just when the temple will be open, but when will things be live streamed so that you can tune in from your homes? When will all the pujas be happening? When will all the online chanting and prayer happen? Also, the PDFs are uploaded as to which slokam will be chanted which night, so you can follow from home. You can download that and have that ready. The specific website that we put up there, nyganeshtemple.org/Navaratri 2020 / is the specific link that tells you everything about Navaratri this year at New York Ganesh Temple. And again, we have a Carnatic music concert by the Sai sisters on October 17th, which is next Saturday at 3 p.m. And we invite everybody to join us for the Zoom pujas as well. And so with that being said, we want to wish you a very happy Navaratri, right, Uncle? We want to wish everybody
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, we want to wish everybody a happy Navaratri, and we want to wish that there is a lot of light and strength that fills your home. So stay safe, and we look forward to seeing you at the temple. Thank you.
Thank you all. Namaste.
Namaste.